Welcome back. So this will be a little teaser video on what I'm working on, and hopefully you're going to learn something from it. Maybe not from this video, but from the future video that I'm going to do more elaborate on this specific subject. So let me just show you this blank here. So this is many of you would reckon this is sanded surface. So this is beach, by the way, and it's kind of a kiln dried beach, which really scrapes badly. And just want to show you how with a little technique and practice, let's say, I can get a proper surface like this. Now this kind of burnished, almost sanded surface is a little bit different, but I'll show you, just like I said, a little teaser. And this is the side grain. So you can see a little bit of markings here, but if I persevere a little bit more, those will be gone. But this is quite smooth, and basically a little bit of 240 and you're done. So let me just put the phone on the stand, and I'll show you little close-ups. Okay, so like I said, I'm playing around for a while now with scrapers, or better said, different ways of sharpening scrapers. And many of you know scrapers from this kind of format. So this is a card scraper. Many woodworkers use this. I am one of those as well. It's a really inexpensive tool, and it gets the job done even on the most figured woods, curly woods, burls and stuff like that. And usually you drag it around the surface like this, you bend it a little bit, and you can use this. If you don't have anything else, like a proper scraper, or this is a homemade one, but either bought one or something like that, you can use a card scraper. It could be a little bit difficult to shape wood with this because it's thin, and the burr doesn't last long on this kind of steel. But I didn't invent or make something new to use a card scraper on wood turnings. This is something that it's been done mostly, I believe, in Japanese culture of wood turning. Correct me please if I'm wrong. They like to use kind of steel like this and shape the surface and get it really smooth. So the sharpening of this I'm going to leave for another video. That's the teaser part, and that's as well on the scrapers. So let me just start first with this one. So this is a standard shear scraper. This has a rounded edge. This is a rough and inspired scraper. So the burr on this one is right from the grinder. So I'll try to show you on the proper light. I hope you can see at the very tip this kind of little discoloration. So that's the burr that's doing all the work for us. Now on this one, from the grinder, let me just focus on the bowl. From the grinder, it's a great burr. Nothing wrong with it. Let me just show you. So this is on the side grain. And you get these lovely wispy shavings, dust, and the sound is also quite important. It's a really nice sound when you use it. So let's make here as well. So you can see a lot of dust, a lot of fine powder. So that's the clue you're after. So that's surface right from the scraper, and that's pretty good, but I can improve on that, and I'll show you later. Just to show you a bit closer, I hope I can. So there's nothing stopping you here to start sanding from 180, and on the side grain it will, all these marks you can see here, a little bit of a picked up grain will go away on a side grain orientation like this. Now let's focus on the end grain here and side grain combination. Okay, now before I scrape this combination of end grain, side grain, I'm just going to rough it with a spindle gouge. So this is the typical roughing cut from the spindle gouge, and it's not bad surface, but you can see here a little bit of a like torn out. Nothing that can stop you sanding, but I can improve on that. So this is the scraper. All of the scraper sharpening methods I'm going to show you will involve scraper flat. So light touch, you don't want to dig in, just light, and you get this wispy shavings out. I hope that will show on the camera properly. So here I'm actually losing a burr, so it's not all that sharp. It's not terrible, but so I can switch to this position here. So that's scraper flat, and this surface is quite good. So again, nothing that can stop you from sanding. Hope you can see that. So no tear out, no nothing like that, no pulled out grain. A little bit of a rougher spot here, but the next step is what usually happens after you lost the burr from the grinder, is you hone it. So the way I hone the scraper is you put it flat on the top, you remove any remnants of the last burr you had. This is a little bit finer hone, I believe 600 grit, something like that. And then you find the primary bevel here. Raise it just a little bit off, and then you proceed raising the burr. So this is actually sort of braiding the burr on top, and I feel now nice burr, maybe a bit more here on the very tip. Okay, so again I'm going to start with the side grain here. Nice light touch. You just want to, for that burr to have a contact with the wood. So I'm going to say, from my here point of view, that honed burr is a little bit sharper, maybe a bit better. So really light touch. Do this rebate here as well. Again, same kind of powder shavings, and I would say that the surface on this one is maybe a little better, not by a lot, but a little better. And again, there's nothing stopping you here to sand really with 180 and move on. So again, on this spot we have a little bit of this picked up grain. So let's go on the here on the end grain, side grain. Again, light touch. Again, in most cases you're going to be shear scraping to get the best surface, and but I want to show you here on the flat position, and this is now really nice surface, really nice surface. So hope you can see that. Maybe a bit broader view so you can see. So that's a really nice surface, straight from the scraper. So now this last one, last sharpening option, I learned quite a while ago when I started my trade. Involves basically, for the most part, about sharpening the card scraper, and this is something that I've like experimenting for a while now, and it's not difficult to do, but you have to have a feel for it a little bit, but in what you get here, the burr is a little bit longer lasting burr, because it's not abrasive burr. No, I don't want to say too much, but because this is a teaser, but as you see now, it's a little bit more aggressive, but also it cuts more cleanly. Okay. See the surface, and that's maybe a little better than the honed one. So try to focus so you can see. So this is that troubled area. It's a little better than it was with two previous burr raising techniques. And again, there is nothing stopping you here from sanding. Where you have the side grain, end grain portion of the wood, this, if you're not careful with this method, you can raise too big of a burr, and that burr, since it's sticking out like this, it wants to grab the end grain, so it's a bit more grabby. So we just want to have, like I said, a feel for it and make a smaller burr, which should last you longer because it's more stronger. It's like a fingernail. If you have a quite long fingernail, it's much more easier to break versus like this one. So this is flat again. Again, really nice powdery shavings. And with this method, it is actually quite sensitive where you raise the handle. So obviously with the standard scraper you don't want to drop your handle and sticking it out like this into the wood, because you will blow something out. The scraper would catch, break it out of your hands, and make a lot of big mess. So you always want to have the handle up. So, but with this method, if you raise it a bit more, you'll engage more of the burr. So you can see maybe here how it likes to grab. want to go lightly. Okay, so just want to show you the surface, and that's really nice surface. So again, show you the broader view here. Really nice. And let me just show you what I'm covered with. This lovely fluffy shavings. Before I show you the card scraper, let me just get a little shape here so it looks like a ball that we're going to make. This is bone dry, by the way, so let's make a sort of a foot here. Okay, so we have a ball shape here. Now I can use again scraper. Just light touch. You just want the burr to have contact with the wood. Don't want to poke it in. To adjust the rest a bit. Okay. Oh, and just to point out, this method does work with a sort of a negative rake scraper. This is a skew chisel. Okay, so that's pretty refined surface, and that's really nice surface straight from the scraper flat with the third method of raising the burr, which I didn't show you. So, but I will show you eventually, so just need to work on it a little bit more just to figure out any nuances before I show you. So, but what I can show you now actually is a card scraper trick. So what I have here, this edge that I marked, this is where I sharpened it. So this is basically a square, or you make it square, a piece of steel, and it had a burr here. Hope you can hear it. So I'm going to improve on this surface, and I'm not using a tool rest, so but the real trick with this, so this is quite good surface, but as always we have fibers that is sticking on the opposite way. That's why we like to sand in reverse as well. So if I put it in reverse, I hope you can see the discoloration. dust extractor. It's quite dusty, so I can go in reverse again. Polished surface now. Just hit it with 240 grit. Okay, that's just a few seconds. That's all done. Let me just turn off the dust extractor. Let me just show you. So this is literally in just a few seconds with 240 grit after card scraper, and you can see the surface is pristine. I mean, for utilitarian stuff that mostly that I make, this is more than fine. So really nice, smooth surface. And obviously you would sand this with 180, 240, 320, let's say, properly, but this is in a rush, and you can see still makes a beautiful surface. So this is the card scraper trick. But I'll do more in-depth video on that last burr raising technique, since I, like I said, figure out some of the nuances. So hope you like this video.